I mean, we've been there 20 years, and I don't think it's serious to assume that at any point in the near future, those people will be able to construct a safe democracy, not necessarily like the West, but anything that provides any level of safety that would allow us to leave. And the other criticism is, when you take these refugees into the U.S., they have to be moved into some neighborhood. And personally speaking, I mean, my neighborhood has changed so dramatically in the last 10, 20 years. I mean, you walk around and English is not the language that you hear spoken on the street.
What is the language your neighborhood hears?
Spanish.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And there's, like we always say, there's nothing,
Go ahead.
So I mean, there's nothing, of course, intrinsically wrong with, any other group.
Well, we wouldn't have to bring the refugees into the United States if we stayed. So you want it both ways. Abandon these people to death and leave. And I don't necessarily want them as refugees, and I don't want to leave. But your position is let them die.
Well, so that to me is very much kind of a left-wing point of view, because I'm not.
The left wants us to leave. Why? The left wants us to leave. It's the only area where there is no left and right on leaving Afghanistan. It's an amazing thing. There are just as many conservatives who want to leave as there are people on the left.
Well, you don't
Donald
have
Trump wanted to
after
leave.
20 years?
I'm sorry?
After 20 years, you don't think it's time?
No. Why are we still in Germany after 50 years?
Well, I think that's silly, too.
Right. Okay. Apparently, Europeans don't think it's that silly, and we have kept the peace there. And what about South Korea? Is that silly, too?
Well, South Korea is very different than Germany. Do you really think we need to be there to protect to keep the peace in Europe?
Well, you didn't answer me about South Korea. Is it silly to have stayed there 50 years?
Yes, I do. I do think it's silly.
Okay. All right. Listen, you know what my motto is. I prefer clarity to agreement, and I thank you for calling.